Kiana, thank you for coming. Risha, thank you for coming up as well. Kiana, you can go ahead and kick this segment off with the Boston Celtics. Again, check the pin message. Starting with the over/under, I think you guys won 64.
They won 64.
Oh, damn, you ready? Shout out to you, Josiah. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, Kiana, go ahead. It's all you.
I don't think we're gonna get 64. I think it'll probably be like 57 to 60 wins next year is what I'm thinking. So I would take the under from last season. Why are you using last year? Why aren't you using whatever the betting is?
So we don't care about Vegas.
Oh, okay.
We care about facts and stats.
Okay, well, excuse me, honey. But yeah,
Why
no.
you? I had a question for you too, but I ain't want to cut you off like I did Swiper.
What's
Why you
up?
ain't say what's up? Hey y'all. Hey Heaven sent. Hey Jordan. Hey
Hi,
Ed.
everybody. I know y'all miss me. What's up?
Like there we go. Like damn.
What y'all want? Hello, 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 hello.
That's better for sure.
Okay. Next question.
Yeah, positives and negatives. That you think will be the big, some of the biggest differences that you think will be for this year. And then talk about what last year was like for you. The journey, the process, the playoffs, the finals, etc.
I mean, last year was phenomenal. We won a ring. Like, there's not really, further explanation needed. I mean, finally got the job done. Shout out to the Jays. But no, last year was cool. I honestly got bored halfway through the season, and then the playoffs started, and everybody was hurt, so I got bored again. Honestly, but it was cool. As soon as the Nuggets won or lost, that's when I knew, like, we was gonna win. I remember I was out in the club, and the whole club was like glued to the TV screens. And I watched that game 7 like my life depended on it. And as soon as they came back and won, that's when I knew. I was like, it's a wrap.
You said the club.
Yeah, it was. I think it was a Sunday.
Okay.
But yeah, so it was great watching it. It was fun. I'm glad everybody's back. We got the gang together again, so it was cool.
You jump. You jump the plate.
You asked me 50 million questions.
I said jump the plate. Jump the question. My bad. Yeah, I said. What do you think will be the biggest differences from last season to this season, positives and negatives?
I don't really see differences. We're gonna have the same approach we had last year. What's the little thing JBB saying? Don't skip no steps. You come in, you approach every game. The goal is to win it. Hopefully we're winning at a pace to where we can do what we did last year, which was basically experiment for half a season. Um, They said that. So Joe recently did say that Al would probably, or that Al is open to accepting whatever role, and if that even means coming off the bench, um, to like preserve the bench unit with or without KP. He said that last year too, and he did do it. Al started. But I mean, I don't really care if Luke starts or if Al starts. Um, but yeah, he did say that. 11-10. But what was I saying before I answered that question about the differences? I don't really think it's gonna not be much of a difference. I think it's the same team. I do think we see Joe now that we have a full year. I think we see him try to incorporate X more. Is that the only new guy to the rotation? I think so. Yeah, I think we'll try to see him include X more throughout the regular season, try to give him more minutes to play and develop and gel with the other guys, because he's essentially is the only one that doesn't really have the chemistry with everybody else. But aside from him getting more minutes, I mean, it'll be the same old as the last couple of years.
It's honestly, it's hard. It's hard to answer y'all questions.
I don't know what you want me to say.
Yeah, it's a little hard for me. Do you think Jaylen Brown deserved Eastern Conference MVP and Finals MVP?
The ECF, that was the Pacers. Yeah, I didn't care. The finals, I think it should have went to JT for sure. But I love JB. Shout out to him. We'll just have to get it. JT just have to get it this year. That's all. That's something to work for.
Okay.
But, but yeah.
Ask her how she feels about no, not Vito. Vito, you're a nut, dog. How do you feel about Jaden Springer? And that's the question in the chat.
Uh,
Mish,
Um,
what's
that's a new,
the mess?
Mish, that's a new page or something. Why you weren't a creator?
I like Jaden. What
Strength,
about
I
him though?
guess. They didn't give me. So
That's not a
somebody
new
took my mod.
Niche.
What
Oh God.
do QSIM? You got like a specific? Like I like Jaden, but he not gonna crack the rotation.
Yeah, facts.
So I don't. Nice defender. I think he's somebody that we can develop. Because eventually we got this year, and then potentially next year the group will have to be broken up. Maybe we can extend it to 2 years, but by the last year, first year, by year four for sure, the group will be broken up. So that will hopefully give him some time to develop to maybe get some real minutes. But he's not getting no real minutes as long as the roster is constructed as is. So nice defender, cool. He'll play garbage minutes, but that's really it.
Well, a couple of teams in the conference. Oh, what's about to say something after this? A couple of teams in the conference.
Yes, the Celtics are still for sale. I don't think they've actually started taking bids yet. I can't remember when that is, but it's soon. But yeah, they are still for sale.
Oh, you talking to
We're
Black
in
Lady?
Dubai,
I'm
so
confused.
hopefully we have some suitors.
They're not gonna get bought out for like a few years though.
Yeah,
So
it's going to be a process,
it's gonna be a while.
but they haven't even started like taking actual like real offers yet.
A couple of teams in the conference, just like I asked everybody else for teams, particularly the West or in the East, that's viewed as one of the best teams in the conference or the best team in the conference. A couple of teams made some moves to try to get to y'all level. Knicks, Sixers, sort of kind of Bucks. Are you looking at any of them as a threat? Like, how do you feel about the matchups? Are you still 100% comfortable? Like, how you feeling?
Yeah, I mean, the matchups are none of them pose matchup problems respectfully, but um with the Knicks, they have Mikel and OG, which is nice, but I mean, we're just gonna pick on JB and Cat. Tatum's gonna abuse Cat. It's gonna be ridiculous. With the Sixers, I mean, it's
Healthy and B. Let's say healthy. Let's say Embiid is healthy.
I don't care if Embiid
We
was.
guarded him really well. Like
Yeah,
what?
I'm not worried about the Sixers, but I do
Yeah,
think
we
so.
gotta let this
Let
Phillips
me
shit
say
go.
this so I don't sound crazy. I definitely think that all of the teams got better in the East for
Facts.
sure.
Facts.
All got better. I think,
Giannis? No, he's old.
but as far as like giving us a real like matchup problem, they haven't achieved that. But against each other or against the other teams in the West, or in the East, yes, 100% agree. I think the Knicks have given themselves a real chance to get to the ECF. I think the Maxi, Paul George, Embiid triplet or whatever, obviously
He
that's
turns back the clock.
a much upgrade over last year. And I think with for what the Bucks could do as far as like only signing vet men's, I think they did the best that they could do.
Facts.
But as far as matching up with us, we're one of the only teams aside from well no we're the only team in the East that can consistently put out two-way versatility at almost every position consistently, and until there's another team that can match that, we're just not going to have a matchup problem. So those are my thoughts, but I don't want to seem like I'm poo-pooing their changes because I think they definitely all the teams definitely did make good upgrades, but they're just not. I don't have a
I think
concern about beating them in a series. This is my
I
opinion.
think it goes back to what Kiana just been saying. It's just too much of a math problem for these teams. That's just really all it comes down to. It's a math problem. So,
Mhm.
I mean, somebody said one Al Horford injury and it might be cooked. If you're banking on Al to get injured,
to win a series, good luck. We got bigger problems.
I mean, he
I
doesn't ever
promise
get
you.
injured. Like if you were saying that one KP injury or even a Jalen or Drew, they get injured during the regular season and will miss times. But I mean, Al just takes care of his body so well. He just doesn't get injured.
He
And
turns
he's
back the
he's not
clock when
gonna
he
play.
plays Embiid
But
too.
He's not gonna play back to backs
it's not
either.
that.
It's not. So what is it? Because I feel like, to be honest, anything that we say is gonna come off kind of like cocky.
No, not
But
really.
No. I was saying
Yeah,
that
not really.
when
Am
I
I?
Risha
mean,
said he turns back the clock, I was saying it's not that. I think he just I think he understands Embiid's game. Like Embiid has
Yeah, yeah,
a
yeah, yeah.
game that
It's
he
been too
just
many
knows how to defend.
matchups. It's
Yeah,
been
I don't think it's he looks like young Al. I think he just defends Embiid really, really well. I
yeah.
think even at 45, he could defend Embiid well. Like that's all I was saying.
It's
But
like
I did have a
what's
question.
the word I'm
he's not
looking
even
for?
that old. Y'all
It's
killing me.
my tennis instructor told it to me today.
He's
It's like
38.
it's like muscle memory when it comes to Garden and
Ah,
Bede.
that's good.
He just knows where he wants to go. He knows how he wants to get his shot off. He knows where on the space on the floor. He's just very like it's just done it too many times to where I'm just not worried. And I feel like that about Embiid, healthy or not healthy, because I know in the playoffs it's always the well, he wasn't healthy, so we don't really know. I don't really care if he's healthy or not healthy. Well, and I was Q Sims, I was talking about that to somebody. I was just like, because the like blueprint to guard and bead, not everybody has the pieces, but if you do have the pieces, it's the same plan. And to say we're like in year 10, I know he hasn't played for 10 years because of injuries, but to say we're this far in and he hasn't figured out how to beat that yet is very like just puzzling for me, to just be honest. But that's random and
Wes got a
doesn't
question.
relate to
Wes
the
got a
sport.
question. But
What's
before
up?
Wes goes, real
I
quick, Wes,
mean,
I don't want to get. Oh, she already answered it. Okay. I don't want to get lost in his YouTube comment. Are the Jays motivated after the disrespect they had all summer? I think you already answered that,
Fuck
but
yeah.
I
Yeah.
So,
think
oh, go ahead,
Go ahead.
Risha.
oh yeah, all y'all
I
came back.
think just watching like clips of the starting five doc, I think Jason is just like he got what he won the championship. That kind of burdens off his back. I think he just wanted to play freely now. I do think he might try to prove something just because of the
Absolutely
Olympics
not. But go
disrespect,
ahead.
maybe. But but I just think he just don't care. Like, I'm a winner. You guys are losers. I'm just gonna play basketball, get my team to wins, and that's it. No
Imagine
offense.
having a burden off your back in year 7.
Yeah.
This is year
Well,
8 coming up. That is crazy. A
yeah. Well,
burden.
I don't.
I
So
mean,
my
like the whole
position.
top.
Oh, go ahead, Risha.
I mean, just like the whole thing of, oh, when you guys gonna win a championship? Now that whole burden's off his back, and now, he's free
It's
to
it's
do.
a, it's a different dynamic now, though. He
Yeah.
didn't play anybody.
Yeah.
So
No.
y'all,
I.
y'all, y'all,
I
go
don't.
all right,
ahead.
I don't
man. I
like.
don't want to hear this. All
I
right,
don't
I'm
like.
telling
I
y'all
don't.
what y'all
Well,
telling
hold on.
us.
I have a
The
different
hell?
opinion. I don't like the whole like Tatum and JB like revenge season. Like I understand the logic, but if you hear the entire team talk, the entire team feels disrespected. Like they feel disrespected because they feel like Jalen and Jason have been disrespected. They feel disrespected because as a team, almost every metric, they're top 5, top 10, all for like the entire NBA. And as a team, they are not being talked about a certain way. So I just think that the entire team is motivated to come back and to prove that, yes, we dealt with a lot of injuries in our playoff run, but we're coming back to show y'all that this wasn't just a fluke. We've been to the ECF 5 or 6 times. We're going to do it again and to try to shut everybody down. But I don't think it's just Jason and Jalen. I think it's the entire team. Those
So
are
in
just
other
my
words,
thoughts.
they're trying to treat us like the Bucks who only made it out the East. What? Never mind. Let me go.
Nah,
Mm,
y'all are
mm,
definitely a
mm.
different team. I think
Giannis ain't saving nothing good. I'm sorry.
No, Giannis run the East and only been out once. Go
Did you
ahead.
have any good
Giannis old as
questions?
hell. That
Nah,
team's old as
Ev?
hell. No
I'm
one
literally
wins.
sitting here thinking, and I'm being so real. I'm not even trying to be. This is just a different team. Like it's hard to. I'm being real because I had to cut out the expectations point. I mean, I realistically, none of these teams going to pose problems for you guys out east.
Well,
Um,
yeah, out east. I will say that the only true mismatch that I see is Joker. We don't have an answer to defend
Yes,
him
yes.
at all,
Y'all
Hmm.
kind of
respectfully.
Hmm.
disrespecting Giannis. I'm sorry.
I
No,
mean,
we're
Giannis is
not.
going
Cut
to
it
have
out. Cut it
like
out.
Giannis
Cut
is
it
I'm
out.
going to be
how
pretty good
I'm
against
talking
Cut
to
it.
the
us,
play
How?
again.
but
How?
I think
The
we're
player
going to lose
himself,
anyway.
the player
Okay,
the
he.
player alone.
Okay,
The
okay.
go ahead, me. Tell me.
So you're saying we have nobody to guard him? Fine. Their whole team don't have nobody to guard our whole team.
Which I
So
mean, I
that's
don't
That's
agree
not
with
really.
the
that,
that's not the part of
respectfully.
the conversation though. That's exactly.
So what do you?
She was speaking to
So
having any matchup problems. I said that one player will have a matchup problem, like could still pose a matchup problem to you all,
hmm.
and I
But I
stand
feel
but
by
how
that.
like
will it? What?
I,
Okay, that's 1 against 5 though. West is what I'm saying. Responding to that.
What do
No,
you
but
mean
that's
it's
the
one
same thing.
against
That's
five?
the same thing for y'all
Huh?
saying
And yeah,
Jokic
like
though.
no,
what do you
I
mean
feel
one
like
against five?
Joker is the type of player to win the game
Am I not?
just from himself. Like I don't
Am I
I don't
not
see that from
articulating what I'm
Giannis
saying?
against us. Just
So
I'm
him winning
cool.
against us, just
We
him. I'm sorry.
cool. We don't have nobody to guard Giannis. He can drop 40 and they still lose the game. Is what I'm saying. West.
okay. I never said that Milwaukee would win the series because of Giannis. I said in response to They're the only mismatch or matchup problem potentially could be Jokic. Even and I said this earlier when Keanu, I typed it, I didn't say it, but earlier when
You.
she was saying there was no matchup problem, I think Giannis still poses a matchup problem.
Yeah, I think I just disagree with that, respectfully.
Yeah. Yeah. There. That's why I'm gonna just leave it right
Okay,
there.
all right. I think that's
Like I.
underselling him. Well, I think you kind of
We
answered my
respect you
question. My
honest. It's
question was
just
gonna be, I said underselling, not just, but I my question was gonna be did you feel like the league as a whole caught up a little bit? I think you kind of answered that for the East. I won't say it didn't sound like you would say they caught up, but you gave them credit for getting better. Now pivoting to the Western Conference, do you feel like any teams improved enough to where you feel like they've caught up a little bit, or you feel like do you feel like
Good question.
nah, we should still win a championship, we should go back to back, and even though teams have gotten better, no one's caught up.
I I'll go first. I think the Nuggets, like as a whole, overall, are just a great matchup for us. So I don't feel like they caught. I feel like they're right there with us. Um, the other teams, I think Minnesota. I don't think they've caught up with us. I think they've made good moves, but I don't see them as a particular threat. Even through the playoffs when y'all were going crazy over them and Ant, I felt like if we faced them, we would still win. Y'all want us to say OKC so bad. um, I have to see it from OKC. I see like the moves, but overall, OKC is still a young team. Like J Dub is still developing. Thank you, Mom. J Dub is still developing. Um, the Alex Caruso move is great. I, I don't know how that's gonna. I'm not really moved by that, but like Isaiah like Hardenstein, I think he's good with them with Chet, but I'm still not like I'm still not like thinking you guys are a threat. I still think you guys are still a team that's still developing into something. I think you guys will make a good playoff run, but if we face y'all, I think we will win. No offense, OKC fans.
We
No,
should.
no, no, none taken.
I just
And
have
that's
to
how you
see
all
it,
should
you
feel.
know?
Yeah,
I just
nah,
have
that
to see it, you know?
that's very valid, very
We
fair.
Yeah,
should
I
be honest.
think.
Y'all can. What?
Oh, go ahead. What you about to say?
I was gonna say attack. I want to drop to attacking too.
Oh yeah. I have like a list of maybe like 10 teams that I really want to watch this year, and OKC is on that list. Um, because I do think I like their moves this offseason. I think they're obviously a really, really great team. Um, but I think the talk is just like a little crazy. Not saying that it's not going to be true. I don't know. I just need to put it all together and watch it. Um, just how their expectations, especially for them to be a young team, um, what is kind of being put on them, to kind of all put it together and to just come out the West and win a chip this year is just a little interesting to me. So I definitely think, like last year, I would have said like out of the four teams that were left in the West last year, I would have definitely said that like the Timberwolves would have been a better matchup for us, and OKC would have been a better matchup for us with the moves that they did, this offseason. Obviously, I think it'll be a much better matchup than what we got this year, but I would expect us, to obviously win. I would be extremely disappointed if we lost to the Thunder in the finals. So that's definitely a team that,
Damn.
I just need to watch and see.
Extremely disappointed. Whoa, wait.
Yeah.
She talking crazy.
I just need to see it, everything put together. Um, oh my God, 11-10. The list of teams I want to watch this year are the Knicks, the Thunder. I want to see this Randall trade, how that works out. I love watching the Pacers last year. I love watching the Hawks last year. I
The
watched,
Hawks.
yeah, I watched a lot of Heat games. Um, I watched a lot of Buck games last year, and I think that's eight. I'm kind of lost count. Um,
That's a lot of league pass.
I
God
got a
damn.
yeah,
question too.
I gotta get my
Damn.
$100
I see.
worth.
Shit.
Oh, a
I,
lot of Mavs games, and then I think that's nine, and then us. So that would be 10. Those are the 10.
I have a
Because the way people are talking about the Mavs, I also don't understand either. So that's the team I need to sit down and watch.
yeah. I was going to ask you something about Dallas anyway.
Oh,
Literally coming
Memphis.
next.
Oh, I'm watching Memphis because of Smart. You don't gotta worry about that, Miles. I got you.
I'm dead.
But the first question before that though, how many teams in the West then piggybacking off what West said to you or asked y'all? How many teams in the West then, Kiana, could you penciled in or spoke to OKC, like you got to see it, et cetera, et cetera. But how many teams in the West do you think have realistic final expectations? Then?
Um, mm,
Of course, the Nuggets.
yeah,
I think that's expected. Probably the Mavs
probably
because they
after what
because
they
they.
just did.
I mean, they went to the finals, so obviously they have expectations to go back.
Phoenix, unfortunately, even though we know
Oh
they're
yeah,
not
we
that
forgot
good,
about
but
them.
yeah, Phoenix, they have expectations. Um,
Y'all gotta
Huh?
be realistic now. Y'all
Nah,
got some
Oh
good
God.
I
teams
said
now. Y'all
realistic.
some
I said
dangerous.
realistic. Nah, the reason why
Y'all some dangerous.
the reason why
KD
I
said
was
they could go
not
to the chip,
okay.
so we're following what KD
yeah, we
said.
did Suns already. QSim. The reason why I was asking her that question though because she had said the talks around OKC is a little like whoa. So that had
Well,
led to me
I
thinking about
think
hey, well then who has realistic final expectations in the West to you?
I
Well,
think this kind of like goes back to the convo that was being had yesterday with the like, um when we were talking about like Philly versus OKC and
Yeah,
in
yeah.
many, like, I don't think that, um maybe a better way to put it is like, given the talent level, they can definitely reach the Western Conference Finals and get to the finals. But like if they don't, I don't feel like we need to go on a crusade. Like, this is, they made a nice second round run last
They're a
year.
young
I
team. They're
think, yeah,
young.
I just think you just need to have the experience and go through it. And if they don't make it to the finals this year, like, it's just okay. Just relax.
You ain't answer my question though.
The teams, the only team that I feel like, oh my
You
God,
know,
is
Denver is the only team you think have realistic final expectations of the West. What is up with you in Dallas? Like I don't get it. Like what's up with you in Dallas?
I mean,
it's
she
just
said
crazy.
expectation. I mean, internally, Dallas could say they expect to make it to the
But I
finals,
don't
but
expect them
But
to.
why she
yeah,
don't have that expectation though for them? Like that's what I wanted.
why
Like
would she? Dallas's team, even or like aside from like, I don't think Dallas's team is that. I'm more with Kiana with this. I think people are using what they accomplished last
Yeah,
year
as
to
a
gas
thing. And
what
it's
they
just
are. Yeah,
like, They got there and they were severely outclassed.
Y'all were in here trying to
Like,
act
Damn.
like they
I
was
mean,
gonna
Say
beat
and
us.
say,
Let's be
oh
real.
damn.
Trying to act
Oh,
like they was gonna
severely
beat us.
outclassed.
I
I
mean,
gotta
do you
use
have
that one.
something? Did I lie?
Nah, I
Oh,
mean, like, look, I think what Tatum said, I didn't watch it, and I can't wait to watch it. I got started today, but I seen clips of him saying like, I don't know what was up with the media, like, were they trolling? Like, I don't got a problem with Tatum saying that, to be honest, because a lot of people were picking Dallas. Obviously, the fan of me made me pick,
Yeah,
made me
correct.
pick Dallas. But
oh.
realistically, I mean, I already knew. Like, let's be real.
But okay,
But
but I'll say this
Oh,
because I was talking about
she said,
Dallas, and because I was just like, honestly, for them to get to the finals, like to me, something is fishy with the West because that just should not be able to happen, respectfully. But
I
then
mean,
I
but
was,
if when you have a player that can
Luka
control a game, when you have a
magic.
player that can control a
Mhm.
game, it's not that easy to game plan against stuff. Like we seen Minnesota struggle with that. Like it's
mhm,
that's like when you have a guy like Luca that can
Minnesota
control a
or
whole
Ant.
entire basketball game, it's not that
mhm.
easy to game plan against. That's how I look at it. So I think Dallas is always they always they again people might be lower on them for certain reasons, whatever the case may be. But you always got to view them as one of those teams, in my opinion, that can make it or that can be there at the end because one, you have one of the best players in the world, and then you have a good running mate alongside of him that can have highs and lows. I get it. When it's high, it's really damn high. He closed out multiple
Mhm.
games in that Minnesota series, and then you have a good supporting cast around those guys. So it's like I don't
Well,
understand how.
to
I
me,
don't.
That sounds like
well,
some dark horse shit as
yeah, it
opposed
does,
to
and also to me, it sounds like the thinking that Luca can just like I guess carry you to the finals speaks on the levels of the defenses in the West because it's just like it just shouldn't.
Yeah, but see, you like you said earlier, you guys are the
Well,
only
I don't
team
agree
out
with that. I
east.
think you understand who Luca is
Okay,
offensively. Because the West has really good defense. I mean, they had two of the top three defenses in the league last year, if I'm not mistaken.
He
and then
just
like what else after that?
I mean,
well,
they
that
played both of those teams to get to the finals.
Mm-hmm.
That's not a like
and they
fair
and they
rebuttal.
won those series because of like this literally what he did to them. He grabbed them. He
I'm like,
grabbed
what
both
you
of them.
trying to
he grabbed, he literally had them in a palm of his hand. Was he that efficient at OKC? No, but he still relatively controlled the series and dictated how he outdoor
do?
defended him and things of that nature. In Minnesota, it was night and day. We all seen it. Like he night and
Uh
day. I
huh.
don't even got to speak to that. But
Yeah.
yeah, man, I don't know, man. And again, you're you you can speak in the lands that you're speaking because you said it earlier. You guys are the only team out east that have numerous guys that can defend on a two-way standpoint. Always have two. Drew Holiday, Derek White, Jalen Brown, Jason Tatum.
Because for my main issue with the Mavs is like you're literally at every point in the game trading defense for offense. And I mean, I guess Luca is just so great because I just can't comprehend how that just gives you. I just can't. I just respectfully, I just can't. But maybe that's what it is. I can't get with it. But
Hey, bro. You know what these young kids like these days? They don't care about no damn defense. How many can you put up a night? Come on.
But
But
yeah,
I
but
mean,
those are my thoughts. But the Mavs are on the list. I'm watching. I'm
okay.
watching very
I can't wait to
closely.
see this
I'm
Clay
watching the
Thompson
defense.
experience.
I'm watching the offense, and I'm watching the looks. Because they have this like, from what I've seen, the Mavs have this like mind, and a lot of teams have this mindset now. The Knicks fans do. The Mavs fans do. Um, the Sixers fans do that like, oh, we're just unguardable now, and who are you gonna or you can't leave anybody open. And I'm like, somebody is gonna be left open. That's just how it works.
The Knicks, a lot of them on the Knicks gonna be left open. I'm
I don't care
sorry.
how many spacers and shooters you have, somebody is gonna be left open. And so
OG
I'm
Just
gonna be left
kidding.
open. Josh Hart
interested
gonna
to
be left
see
open. It is
how
what it
they
is.
work.
Y'all
But
are
yeah.
funny as hell.
Well, three, all three of y'all. Thank you. I know, I know y'all didn't say much, but I didn't really have much to really ask y'all. Again,
Go
What
I
is
Celtics.
there not
as a
to
Heat fan,
me?
I respect y'all. Think y'all people think I be joking over the last 2 years when I give y'all praise. No, I really respect y'all team.
Okay,
Um,
next part of
Ha
the
ha ha ha
conversation.
ha.
you see,
Next.
Mish, you got anything though, Mish? As far as the Celtics, I mean, again, like I said, it's hard, but anything you're looking forward to watching this season that you probably didn't see a lot last season that you want to see this year? I guess that's a question.
Oh, yeah, I can answer it. It's gonna be pretty bland for me, but let me step outside. Oh boy.
11-10. That is so nasty.
Oh, damn, sorry. What's that in here? For me, shit, we won a chip and I disappeared. Cause after that, there's nothing more to be said, man. Like, y'all told me that these two would never win together. Y'all told me to go trade for KD because we'll have a better chance at winning the chip, and this dude can't even get out the first round. It just didn't make any sense to me. But I'm happy. My guys got the chip done. We got it done. Um, this year, I think for me, I'm gonna look to see what more can Joe do. Let's see what Joe do. We're in year
Yes,
3.
I agree. I want to
What?
see him experiment this year
Yeah.
Yes,
What?
yes,
more
yes.
than
What
he did
more can
last
Joe
year.
do?
Mhm.
What more can Joe do? Will he add some more new things? Because this guy is a psycho. After the championship, he wanted to go practice some more. Dude, you already won the whole thing. What are you practicing? He told JT he wanted to run some more play. Bruh, JT was like, bruh, get out my face. We're not doing it. So I'm interested to see, okay, cool. Everybody's seen what you put out last year. What is this year going to look like? Far as your coaching style, far as more experience now under your belt, you guys went on a finals run, won it. How can you get better from this, Joe? So I think that's the one interesting thing that I want to see moving forward. Like, how can he, build on his legacy some more? Like, far as like defensive matchups and stuff like that, and our coaching staff too. I don't think we lost anybody um, of significance. I think we're returning the same coaching staff. And as far as the players go, shit, the Jays get better every year to me. So I know JB need to work on them damn free throws. Tatum been working on his art on his jump shot and whatnot. So everybody just getting better. KP getting healthy. Um, I really don't have much to say. For me, it's just seeing who's gonna crack the rotation. We already know like our main like 8 guys, but does Lonnie Walker make the team? Jaden
I don't think
definitely.
he is, which
I
is
want him
sad,
to though.
but I don't
He's
think
gonna
he is.
be. He gives
I
O'Shea
think he's going to go
vibes.
to the G League team,
Damn.
but
See,
I don't think because um he's not even cracking minutes in the preseason games. Like he's at the end of the bench for that. I just don't. If you're not even going to experiment with playing him in the preseason game when it's like whatever, I just don't unfortunately see him cracking their rotation. I also don't see them locking up this team and signing him to a 15th roster spot. And I don't see
hmm
them waiving somebody to give him a roster spot either. So
yeah.
I just, it sucks. Like watching him on media day was heartbreaking. He definitely deserves to be on a team. I'm not trying to be funny. I'm being for real. It was so they kept
Damn,
asking him
heartbreaking
questions, and
as
he kept like
shit.
every answer was, "Well, I'm on a 10-day contract." It was like, stop asking him these dumb ass questions. But I don't think he's gonna make the team, unfortunately. So
1110 is right. Charles Lee left. I fucking forgot.
yeah,
Ah,
they keep stealing our
that.
coaches, Mish. That's the third or fourth coach now.
God, we can't have nothing. Okay, it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. Yeah. So the coaching for me, everybody staying healthy. Can we take nights off like we were doing last year? I agree with Kiana. I do not think they're gonna win 64 games this year.
Mhm.
Um, I do hope they continue the good home record though, because whoo, Jesus, Lord knows that home record struggled before last year. So especially during the playoffs.
Sly, don't say that.
Um,
He was pretty good for y'all when he played for y'all. Don't do that.
um, in any event, and I'm just excited to see the guys come back. Peyton, um, everybody got their money, so nobody should be unhappy. So hey, it's time to jump on now.
Yeah, the only thing I'll add, Mish, is that just from like listening to a lot of pods, it seems like a lot of people have us like second or third. Some people even have us like fourth as like standing wise, not like power
Oh
rankings,
wow.
but as like standing wise in the East. And the reasons are because of KP, obviously, and because of like the championship fatigue and the like not trying to exert ourselves. And I just think all that's dumb, respectfully. I think we didn't have to
Yeah.
exert ourselves to get 64 wins. Halfway through the
No.
season, Joe started experimenting with lineups and rotations and did that for the remainder of the year, and they still won 64 games. We were watching Luke Cornett in the game for 30 minutes, asking Joe why is he not subbing him out, and it was because he was just practicing against the team in February or November. So that
Oh,
I don't think that they're gonna be like a fatigue either. The only concern I do have is Drew because we don't rest players typically. Like everybody plays, and Drew is older, and I know like in Milwaukee they definitely do a lot more rest days. So I don't know if we're gonna try to build
mhm.
him in those rest days or if we're gonna try to limit his minutes. But
I'm cool with it.
I'll sing you the pods, Leviton. It's a lot of pods. There's very few people that have us at number one. But
Okay.
I'm interested to see what Drew's minutes and playing time looks like. He's the only one I'm worried about. I'm not worried about Jason. I'm not worried about Jalen. I'm not worried about Derek. They can play. That's not a problem. But
Yeah.
Drew is just old with a lot of miles, a lot of deep playoff runs. So that's the only thing that I'm concerned about is just seeing if we're going to account for that or if we're not going to account for that. But
Another thing is, I wonder how people feel. Like, all year they told us, Porzingis couldn't stay healthy, and he only played 2 games in the finals, and these motherfuckers still won a championship. Like, doesn't that kind of like speak a lot?
He
Like,
a
damn,
winner. Y'all are
he didn't
losers. Sad.
he didn't have to play a lot, and these motherfuckers still only lost 3 games in the
11.
postseason.
Can please.
yeah, well,
But not.
I think the counter to that is that we played a bunch of injured people, so
Oh God.
it kind of
Okay.
like
Even
counteracted,
though we were injured,
but
even though we were
I
injured.
understand the sentiment. I do understand the sentiment. I think
Okay.
if we played healthy teams without KP and still only lost 3 games, I think people would view us completely. I think if Tatum played how he played, KP doesn't play and we only lose 3 games, I think the narrative is vastly different. But because we play injured people, we're here. Which I don't have. They just got to run it back and just confirm how me and you feel. I mean that's the only you could do is check ball and play basketball.
Yeah, that's how
Yeah,
I
I'm
feel. I
actually on the
mean,
opposing.
Hmm.
what you
I'm
feel?
actually on the opposing side. I actually
What?
feel like, not in a bad way though. I actually feel like they are still motivated. To be honest, I don't think y'all going to coast. I think y'all still going to play a damn good basketball in the regular season. Um, Tatum said, I think Tatum said this off season like I can still get better. Like I'm not even in my prime. Or I'm entering my prime right now. So I think JB
Yeah.
got better year. I've been watching. Well, to y'all, I'm probably not. Or I don't say much because I met Wes, but I love Jalen Brown. I've been watching him since
Oh
he came into the
boy.
league, and he got better. He got better
Not
every
this
single year.
again. Uh,
He got better. I'm not comparing him to Tatum. I'm
Look
just
at
saying he got better every
Dame.
single year.
you don't. You don't.
And
You.
both guys got better, right? Tatum spoke about how he
Yeah.
changed his shot mechanics a little bit, which led to him having shooting slumps in the final and USA basketball. So that's a positive. And you also took care of business that helps the team morale, in my opinion. And that is extending. When I think Peyton was last year, and also Sam Hauser. Like we took care of both of those guys that keep that locker room intact. So I mean, like Keanu said, you guys have a 3-year window. KP's a free agent, not after next season, but no, it is after next season. Unrestricted, and I don't think
Yeah.
y'all bring him back. I don't think y'all give KP 30. He's gonna be 31 years old, coming off numerous lower
He
leg
better not.
injuries, foot
If he
injuries,
could
whatever the
flip,
case may be.
he better not. If he could get rid of Smart like that, he better get KP up out of here. His little broke behind.
Yeah, I think.
Wait a minute.
Damn,
Wait. So what if he
Dad,
go
that's
If
how
to
you.
the?
KP get, if
Wait.
he
Wait.
can
Wait.
go
Wait.
Yeah,
Wait.
you
Damn.
tripping.
No.
You
secondary
big
marketing.
tripping.
Listen.
Y'all not the dominant
So,
regular season team y'all were without KP.
huh?
He was injured a
I
lot.
love you though, KP. I'm
Wait,
just
huh?
saying.
Did he play
You don't
40
love him saying what you
games,
just
bro?
said. That's
Like,
I
not true.
do. But
He
if
can
you can
go.
get rid of Smart, everybody is on the chopping block. Period.
Y'all
Besides
making about
Jay
Marcus Smart too much. Why
and
y'all don't bring up
Are
Robert
you
Williams no
No,
bringing
more? What happened to
I
Robert
didn't. I
Williams?
didn't say that.
and you
I didn't
and
say that.
Rob?
Bring up Robert Williams. Yeah, bring up
Okay.
Rob. You love bringing up
I
Smart. What about Rob?
And I think they both got hurt again too already. I'm so mad. I'm so upset.
Yeah, Rob
Yeah,
got
Rob
Robert
is
the
might
yeah.
have
knee
to
injury.
retire. No funny. He might
No,
really have
don't
to
say that.
retire. Like it's
Damn.
bad. I feel bad for him. It's real bad.
Now
But yeah,
KP
but
make
my
y'all
I'm
Nah,
just
dumb.
but
saying. But I agree with you.
Water.
I think obviously they'll be broken up. I think will be very interested to see how the league views the Drew contract in a couple of years. Um, because I think that we overpay him personally. So I'll be interested to
She
see
saying
that.
that out of emotion.
I think Derek is on a good contract, but I wouldn't want to move him. But we'll see.
and I meant to say Derek too. But
But yeah, it'll
I
be one of
forgot.
those
I
three.
forgot y'all.
It'll be one of those
Yeah,
three.
my bad.
One of them three.
Definitely forgot to say
And then we still got Al, who he claims that he is not thinking about retirement anytime soon. I thought this would be the last year, but who freaking knows? So we'll see.
that. Yep. No extra thoughts from me as far as the Celtics. I just want to say thank y'all so much, and also, uh, Keon, thank you for pulling up. Risha and Misha, thank y'all for coming on the stage as well. Um, Keon, do you know Tween? Have you and Tween spoke before? Keon, you know Tween?
I feel like I've heard him in spaces before. I don't know if me and him have ever spoken to each other though. Is he
Oh,
on the
okay.
stage?
I only asked that because he just got on the stage. Yeah, he just joined the stage, and typically he'll probably have a question or something. Tween, I don't know. Are you good, Tween, or do you got a question for one of them? Or are you good?
You said
Kiana,
what?
run, run,
I'm pretty sure
Kiana,
you.
Why?
run,
Why is
run, Kiana, run away.
I'm pretty sure we talked.
Why y'all be
And
doing my dog like what? Okay, now do
I'm
you have a
pretty sure
question
I
for any of the
talked to
Boston fans? Or are
Kiana
you
before
good?
though.
Go ahead, Tween.
Okay.
Go
Do
he
ahead,
you
about
have
to
a
Tween.
ask
question
some
for any
shit?
of the Boston fans? I thought you. Are you good, Tween?
Y'all
He
are
about to ask us
mean.
Yeah,
if we're gonna
I got
go
Yeah,
a
y'all
question
are
for
82 and
mean to
0.
Tween, man.
Go ahead, bro.
Okay, you see, he got a question. That's why I brought him up. He got a
He
question.
about to ask
That's why I
us
said
if
his
we
name. Go ahead,
going
Tween.
82 and 0. Go ahead. Go ahead. Stupid.
from. Do you think it's gonna be any slippage with Porzingis missing a little bit of, to start the regular season?
No.
Well, she can't be me. He might have just got in here, but the answer is
I don't
no.
think we're gonna win like
The
64
answer is no.
games. Is that what you're asking?
Oh yeah, well I
All
did say
right.
we're not going to win 64 games. I said probably 57 to 60 is what I said for as far as the win total. And what I think is it'll look like the games will look a little bit harder, obviously, but I still expect them to win them.
Like, we're not going to win every game again by
Yeah, I think
20,
last year we had a
basically.
ridiculous
That sounds
amount.
like slippers to me.
What?
That's
Because,
what I was
so
about
we
to
got to,
say.
wait, wait,
Okay,
wait,
well
wait, wait,
then
wait, wait.
if you
So,
deem that that's slippers, then yes.
okay. So you got to win by 20 every.
Yeah,
No, no one said you have to.
Okay.
Y'all, oh man, y'all got it.
I
It's
just
just
asked a question.
I
Oh,
understand, and I
brother.
think your question was respectfully like you knew what you were doing. Me, obviously, no, you don't have to win by 20 every time. What
Oh,
Tween
okay.
is posing is, do you expect a slippage in play? A slippage in play doesn't mean you automatically just lose every game now or anything like that. But if teams are
I
getting
didn't say that,
closer
though.
to, I understand that. If teams are getting closer to you in the outcome, even if you're able to get the W, the outcome has gone from, hey, we're being able to dominate teams and blow teams out, to now teams are right on our heels, somewhat of a slippage. Or would,
well, I
but it
mean,
seems like you all are saying no to that.
no. Well, I guess there's like a medium. I think it depends. So like there are some teams that we were blown out by like 20, 30 points, 40 points. So maybe instead of it being a 30-point lead, maybe it's like we beat them by 15. Or maybe instead of it being a 15-point lead, maybe we beat them by 8. If you're saying that that is slippage, I don't have no problem with that. But that is specifically what I mean.
It combined with the 64 to 57. But maybe you're not tying KP into that. Maybe you're tying the hangover into that.
Yeah, well,
Uh,
I just think that I think last year the Knicks only beat us one time, right? And I think maybe we split with Philly, so we'll probably split with them again. I think last year we only played the Bucks 3 times. I think they won one, we won two. So maybe we split with Philly. That's another two. I think we played the Bucks 4 times. Maybe it's 2 and 2. So those are 2 wins right there. So for me, as far as the 57 to 60, I'm not really. That's like if KP was here all year or not, that would probably still be my same win total if that makes sense. Um,
Interesting. Okay.
yeah.
All right. That's cool.
So I
That's
agree with
wild to me though.
you.
Well, because
Yeah,
I think because I think that whether in KP is hurt to start the beginning of the year, I think he would have got hurt at some point during the year and would have still missed games.
just exactly.
You,
Last year he
you
got
see what
hurt
I'm
at the
saying?
end, and we were up
Yo,
like
I'm
13
lagging
games at
crazy.
that point.
You see what I'm saying, Wes?
You said you feel like you would have been hurt at some point in the season anyway. So
Yeah. So I'm already banking in him missing 20 games at some point or not playing back to backs or something. I think he got like 3 different injuries last year where he was out for like different times
yeah,
due to
yeah,
the
yeah. He
ankle
missed
or
25 games
yeah.
last year.
So
Um, yeah, I thought maybe I misinterpreted Tween's question, so that could be on me. I thought he was asking to start the season with him missing time. Did you all like feel there
No,
might
that's
be a little bit of
what I was
slippage?
asking.
But I think okay, so in that case, maybe they're saying like for since last year they saw them perform without him anyway. It's like I just expect business as usual. We won a championship without him being healthy. In the regular season, we won games for stretches without him being healthy. So it's like business as usual, regardless. Like whether we are winning by 20 or and this is what I spoke to earlier. So it's like I I respect that opinion. I just wanted more clarification because it's like it sounded like a little bit of slippage, but then when you added your context and it's like okay, for you all, as long as you all are winning, it's like business as usual. We don't whether it's by 20 or whether it's by two. A win's a win is a win. So like I understand that for Misha and Kiana and Risha and yeah, I look forward to the season. I did feel like KP was really important to what you all did throughout the regular season and
Mhm.
how much of a mismatch problem you were for other teams and as to why it was so hard for other teams to just compete with you all. I do feel like or I have felt like him being out of the equation just makes it closer. Even like in that Pacers series, you swept them. So shout
the
out to you.
hardest series. I
But
was on
yeah,
pins
like
and needles every time we played. It was
exactly.
awful.
So that's all I like. That I guess that's how I'm looking at it, how I'm viewing it, my approach as opposed to you all's. But nah, common ground. I get what you're saying and I understand it.
If I remember correctly, like Boston start was undefeated at home until like mid January. Like I don't expect that to be the same case without KP, especially with they lineup. They had like some of the craziest on off numbers plus minus. It was literally 2017 Warriors resemblance with the statistical profile they was doing. I kept seeing Shane Young's tweet, "Yo, the Warriors and the Golden State, they are this. You feel me? Like nigga, I'm gonna be honest. This might seem like some type of hate. I'm not trying to come off like that. That shit was insane. Like y'all, I don't expect y'all to do that shit back to back years. Like they foot is definitely gonna be off the gas. I'm expecting maybe 55 wins. You feel me? Just like a little bit less impact, like a little bit less like they was bro. They was running through the league at one point, bro. Like I don't think they went in like 64
I don't
games.
know. 55 is that's a little low, man. If that I think that's about their floor. If they only win 55 games this year,
Yeah,
I would
Twin, we
yeah.
could bet that if you want
Yeah.
to. They'll win more than 55 games, even
No,
if it's one more
I'm
56.
around like that's the mark I had on 55 ish wins. Like maybe it might
Nah,
be 58, maybe it might be 57, but it's in.
nah, you gotta pinpoint somewhere, nigga. You can't. This ain't
Yeah,
It's
medium mode. Pick something,
I
you
got
can't
low.
start at 55 and then jump to
and
58.
then go all the way to 60. Like, make your
No, no,
mind up. No, nigga, no.
here less than 58 games. Y'all not
You
winning
said,
more.
oh wow, Twin, 6 more losses. What the fuck? Oh brother.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean, I said 57 to 60, so I don't think we're gonna get 64. And like I said a little while ago, I don't think we're gonna I don't think we're gonna blow everybody out by 20 points either. I think there'll be
Yeah,
Make
much
sure you
I'm
tap into
down.
the YouTube, Leroy. Make sure you tap into the YouTube,
competitive
Leroy.
games.
When I
Yeah,
upload it.
So
I
I
definitely.
see what y'all are saying. If you're saying that is slippage, which I guess technically it is, then yeah, then I agree that there will be slippage. But it's
I
not because
think
of
it's
K.
fair
It's
though
not
for
because of
you all
KP being out though.
to not tie that into Chris Stapps. Like,
When,
and I think that's the
Yeah.
thing
It's
that
not because of K. Yeah.
also,
that's
when you look at history,
where I meet you and Mish. Well, I haven't Risha hasn't really spoken about this part, but yeah, where I meet you all, like, all right, I'm same page. I understand what you're saying because it's like, yeah, it's hard to duplicate even fully healthy. It's just hard to duplicate that type of success. Like for Tween talking about going undefeated at home for
Yeah.
however many months you went, like that's some outlier stuff. That's special season. Everything was clicking, everything like, and I think that tying that into KP being out may be a little unfair to just be fair to Boston because it's like totally different season. Teams have gotten better. So to tag like that's quote unquote slippage without him and tie it into KP, I think could be a little unfair. So I get that.
All right.
What team you want, Rafi? What team you want on the YouTube? Whatever team you want, I'll prioritize getting it on the YouTube tomorrow for you. How about that? Whatever team you missed and you want on YouTube, I'll prioritize. Oh, it doesn't matter just in general. Oh, I
Gotta
have
drop
two
that Nugget segment for sure.
for sure. That was phenomenal. In an hour and a half, the Pistons drop. Later on, the Pelicans are going to drop. And then again, I want to finish this by the 18th personally, preferably. So I probably got like
This was the last team you
this was
said.
the last team. Thank God. This was the
Oh,
last team.
let me
Save the
see
It was
best for last.
if I
yeah.
have.